So it's a starting up class, starting up class. We'll get there in a minute. Now just allow yourself to have your feet about hip distance apart if that's comfortable. You can bring them closer together if you wish, but I find that nice in terms of balance. You turn the palms forwards, roll the shoulders back a little bit, lift that chest up, and then kind of settle it back into a neutral position. Just check your weight is distributed through both legs evenly. Get the toes a little bit of a stretch out as well. And then if it feels good, just loosen the jaw a little bit and close the eyes gently. And let yourself stand and breathe. And we'll slowly let those eyes open. And then we'll take it into just a simple arm flow. So inhale the hands out to the side and up towards the sky. And exhale back down. Nice and slow. Just feeling the shoulders gradually opening up. If you're able to bring the palms together above your head, great. You want to try and keep the arms straight as you do so. So if it's not possible, it's not possible. Not everyone's got that range of motion in their shoulders. Or maybe the shoulders are just tight and they need a little bit more warming up. Now, if you feel this to be easy through the shoulders and you want to take it up and level, then the next time you bring the hands up towards the sky, just allow yourself to lift up onto the tiptoes. But if you're waiting for your shoulders to kind of relax a little bit, then just allow yourself to keep the heels on the ground. You can lift up as you take the hands up. And slowly bring the heels down as the hands come alongside the hips. You're trying to get to that point where you feel the weight come completely back into the feet. As the hands come alongside the body, you reach the top of your lift as your hands come together. Come up one more time if you're lifting with me. And easing our way back down. Now we're going to take a surface stretch. So take the right arm across the chest, just as that left arm to draw the right shoulder around a little bit. Breathe into the back of the shoulders. release it out and swap it over to the second side. And we'll release from there as well. So we're going to take some shoulder strokes. So now draw the shoulders up, roll them around, nice and easy. Biggest circles you can manage, which is why you want to work slowly. That allows the muscles a chance to understand that they're being asked to move. End up straining them by accident. We'll take them in the opposite direction a few times. And then we'll come back into the center. Bring the hands in towards our hearts. Set the feet at about a few inches apart. Hinge forward slowly. Draw the belly in. Hands come down to the floor. Onto the shins, we lift up halfway. Fold it down. Hands onto the hips. And lengthen the chest forwards to lift up. And bring the hands in towards the heart. Slowly exhale over, taking the weight into the toes. Hands onto the shins to lift up halfway. Exhale down. Hands onto the hips. Soft knees and a flat back to lift. Just draw the shoulders. Hands into the heart. Exhale down. Fingers on shins to lift halfway. And ease our way down. Hands onto the hips. Soft knees and a lift. Let the hands come by the side of your body. We're going to drop the chin in towards the chest to take a half circle with the neck out to the left. And then bring it back in towards the chest. Take it over to the right. Coming back in. I'm just noticing how the neck feels. It might be stiff. It might be stiff on one side. It might be a happy neck this morning. Maybe it's very fluid. Maybe you can't really feel very much of a stretch going on. We'll come back into the center. With the chin still in towards the chest, we're going to take the hands behind the back and bring the hands into reverse prayer. So the fingers slide up towards the shoulders, in between the shoulder blades, palms together. And then lifting the chin. When you're ready, draw the belly in. Allow yourself to soften gently over and down. Hold here for a few breaths. Just try to press the palms of your hands together gently. There's too many P's in there for me. And then we'll slowly lift ourselves back up, giving a softness in the knees, and shake out the wrists a little bit. Now we're going to come down to the floor and move into down dog. So I'm just going to move my block out to the side, and I've got the brick up towards the front end of the mat as well, front side. Hands into the heart. I'm going to fold down to the floor. Just ease it back into our down dog. See how that feels. Just check out the hands position, so fingers more or less pointing forwards. Feet about hip distance apart, heels hiding behind the ankles. And then we lift up the hip bones to the sky. Now you can walk the legs out if you wish, or you can be still, your choice. And then we'll come slowly forwards into plank. Let the knees come back down to the floor. We'll take cat-cow. Just drawing the chest forwards for a couple of rounds. Exhaling out. Forwards. Exhale, draw the belly in. Take one more of this vanilla flavor of cat-cow. And then we'll draw the chest forwards again, but this time as we tailbone and raise up, we'll slowly press ourselves back into child's pose. Let the elbows and the head come to the floor. Inhale, lift back up, round spine, through neutral. Draw the chest forwards as you breathe in, roll the shoulders back, and then reverse that back out again. So just moving back gently. Creaky knees, maybe. Just starting to get to a little bit of a sense of the big muscles underneath the arms. Latissimus dorsi stretching out. We'll come back for the last time. As we lift up, we're just going to lift the head up. Bring the elbows to the ground about shoulder distance apart in front and interlace the hands together, little finger tucked underneath. Roll the shoulders back. And we'll step a leg at a time back into an elbow plank. I'm going to press the forearms down into the floor. Press out through the heels. Now, if you want to take this up a notch further, you can simply take one leg from the floor. Hold it there for a breath or two. Bring that foot down and cross over to the other side. Now, if you do that, you want to try and keep the hips nice and square to the ground. Press out through the heels so the legs are straight. Try not to have the hips drop too much or lift too much. You can take it out again to the opposite first side. And then come away again to the last side. Now you do press down into the forearms, so you actually lift the shoulders away from the floor a little bit. You protract the shoulder blades out just to protect them. And then when everybody brings back into a normal plank, if there is such a thing, bring the knees back together underneath and bring ourselves back onto all fours to tabletop. We'll take a little breath there, tuck toes underneath. Move through down dog to the front of the mat. And bring our hands on our hips and let ourselves lift up. We'll swoop the arms up to the sky as we breathe in. Bring the hands into the heart. Exhale down to the floor. Take the right foot back and drop that in for warrior two. Your choice for how you rise. You can bring the hands onto the front thigh to lift up, or you can bring the hands alongside the thighs. Lift the body a little bit. Float the arms out. And then draw the whole body up and open into your warrior two. So you can make it as strong as you want. We'll take the hands high, rotate the torso to the front of the mat, lengthen out, keep the back foot pressing down, Hands come to the floor, then release the heels, step back into the plank. It's half plank and up dog, but you can bring the knees to the floor if you wish. Inhale it up and exhale it back into that down dog. Again, that can be a fluid down dog if you wish. If you want to take a scissor dog, you can. One more breath. Use the exhale to bring the right knee into the chest and through to the front of the mat into the lunge. Lift the chest as you breathe in. Press off the toes to the forward section of the mat, hands under the hips, and we lift up. Take the hands high into the heart. Draw the belly in, lift the thighs down to the floor. Left foot back and drop the heel in. Again, your choice on how you lift. Hands alongside the body. Float the arms forward so you lift the whole body up. So you put plenty of weight into that front thigh and open into your warrior two. Strong back leg. Press into that outer edge. Feel the thighs lift, otherwise it's a dormant leg. And then we take the hands high. Float forwards, extend out. Hands come to the floor, back into plank. Take it into our half plank. To up dog. To down dog. Again, your choice on how that looks and feels. Could even be down dog with your knees on the floor. It should be a very loose interpretation. Now we'll draw the left knee in, bring the foot through. Take a little breath, press off the toes. And we're to the front of the mat. Hands onto the hips and we lift up. Inhale high. Exhale down. Right foot back. Into the lunge, drop the heel in. Again, we're going to lift into warrior two. You choose how you come up. Now take the hands high. Going to rotate the chest and we're going to lift the back heel. So come into a high crescent, find a little balance. Take a breath. I'm going to drop the right knee all the way to the floor without leaning forwards into the front leg. Then lift it back up. We'll come down again. Just touch the knee gently to the floor, so you have to control it, otherwise it's a crash landing. Do that enough times, you start to realize it makes your knees ache. So we'll lift up, we've got two more. Find something to focus on. Keep the belly drawn in as we go down. One last time. Hands in towards the heart. Lean over the front thigh. Down to the floor. Step it back into plank to half plank. For up dog. Down dog. Now, this is a chance to get the breath back under control. We'll draw the right knee into the chest. Bring the foot through to lunge. Push off the toes. Hands on the hips. A long lift up. So side two. You know what's going to happen. Hands into the heart. Exhale down. Left foot back. Drop the heel in. Your choice on lift for warrior two. Say the hands high as you breathe in. Slowly rotate as you exhale. Find your balance, adjust as you need. Breath in. Exhale down slow. Inhale up. Just 4 more. Last time down. Hands into the heart, lean over the front thigh, hands to the floor, back into the plank, half plank, to up dog, to down dog. And then draw that left knee in, bring it through for the lunge. Push off the toes. Some nice gentle drop into that forward fold, hands onto the hips and really. So we're going to take a lizard twist this time. Inhale, hands up to the heart. Exhale down to the floor. Right foot back. And we're dropping the right knee down to the ground, sliding the toes away. So right hand comes onto the floor, flat to the ground. You're going to take the left hand forwards and lift it up. Now, as you do, you spin the left foot out to the side a little bit so the knee can hang out to the side more easily. And as your hand goes towards the back of the mat, you lift your right foot and then open it up into that twist. So sometimes, the body can still be a little tight. You have to kind of bend round to get your foot. Sometimes it will be just in the place you want it to be. It can be a combination of your leg moving quicker or slower than you think it's going to. I'm going to press away from the ground in this front hand so we're not sitting in the joints too much. You can feel the lift. And we'll release. Bring everything back. Spin the foot back in the front. Allow yourself to drop the heel back in towards the floor in the lunge. Bring the hands alongside or onto the front of the thigh to open up into your warrior two. And then bring the hands high. Rotate and lengthen out. We'll come back into the plank for half plank. To down dog. So it's strong when we're slow. So we're using plenty of oxygen up because we're burning through those muscles. It should be feeling nice and warm. We'll draw the right knee in for the lunge. Push off the toes. Forward fold. Hands onto the hips, off knees and a flat back to lift. We've got one more side to play with. So left foot back, lunge, drop the knee. Allow yourself to take the right hand, spin the right foot out to the side, just that little bit so the knee hangs out. Bring your foot in towards your body. Find, connect, and open. Just continue to squeeze gently the heel towards the buttocks. At this point, I always realize that my toes are quite cold. And we release. Bring everything back down to the floor. Spin the foot into parallel. Lift the back knee. Drop the heel in. Warrior two for lift. Hands float high. Lengthen out. Step it back. Half plank. Up dog. Down dog. Little adjustments. Make down dog your own. Now we'll draw that left knee in for lunge. Take a little breath. Forward fold. Hands onto the hips and we lift. Lift the hands to the sky. Through the heart. Shake it all out. Whew. I was scarily close to the to the wall all the way through there because I was going to headbutt. Take the opportunity to move on that. Now, once you have that brick just to the front of the mat, kind of centered up nicely. And bring the hands in towards the heart. We're going to soften the knees over toes, so make sure your feet are hip distance apart. I'm going to shift the weight into the left leg a little. I'm going to slide the right foot back into a lunge. I'm going to open up into warrior two just for a moment and adjust it out as I need to. So it's get nice and long. And I'm going to take a little breath and extend myself forwards. I'm going to bring the brick onto the inside of that front thigh. I'm going to take the top arm up for a moment. I'm going to wrap that around slowly and gently. And try and bring the hands down to about somewhere between the middle of the thigh, so between the hip and the knee. Palm facing out, opening the chest. Embracing the arm and the leg together just a little bit. Okay, so now we've got used to the idea of being here. If you want to take it further, you can take the bottom hand away. Bring it underneath. Interlace some fingers or get a little bit of a lock in, and then open the chest up. One more breath here. Then I'm going to release. Bring the hand back onto the block. Take the top hand high. I'm going to take a little breath. Now I'm going to press down into the front leg and lift up onto that block high end and allow the front leg to open up into triangle. So just change the elevation of the body a little bit. And then I'm going to wrap the hand around again. This time see if I can ease the fingers into the front of the thigh to help draw the chest round. Now, soften the front knee, lift back up into your warrior two. Allow yourself to take the hands high, lengthen out to the front of the mat. We'll step it back into the front of the mat, into that forward fold. Bring the hands onto the hips and lift up. Take the hands high, into the heart. Soften the knees over the toes. Shift the weight into the right foot. Slide the left foot back into a lunge. Drop the heel in and open up into our warrior two. Again, just making adjustments. You're just wriggling the feet out, getting down into that pose till it feels comfy. Take a little breath. Extend forwards. Bring the brick down onto its lower level again. Bring the palm down, knee over ankle, top arm up towards the sky as you open the chest. And then we're going to wrap the arm around slowly. So we work slowly so it's got time for the shoulder to open. Wriggle the hand into where we want to be, which is somewhere approaching middle of the thigh. And we're bracing the leg and the arm on the front leg and still pressing into the back leg as well. Couple more breaths here. Try and keep the body nice and long, so lengthen out from the pelvis. Draw the chest forwards. And then if you wish to, we'll take the hand away, bring it underneath. Get some finger lock going on, and then open the chest out a little more. It's 5 breaths here, pressing down through both feet. And then we release. Bring the hand onto that bottom block, take the top hand high. Press down, a little lift up onto the brick, higher end, into our triangle pose. Stabilize the front leg as you press out gently. And then we'll bring that hand around again, top of the thigh, hopefully. Lengthen the body out of the pelvis. Press both feet down. Get to feel like the legs are lifting you up rather than holding you up. Slightly subtle difference in feeling, sensation. Two more breaths. And then we'll soften the front knee. Come back into our warrior two. Float the arms high. Rotate. Lengthen down to the floor. Spin it in. Step it to the front of the mat. Just move the brick out of the way. Whilst we're here on the floor, we'll take the right foot to the back of the mat. Walk the fingers around to the long side. Turn the toes in. Bring the right hand on the floor directly underneath your chest, somewhere underneath your face. Turn the body to the left. Take the left hand up towards the sky. Bring it back down to the floor. And then turn the body to the opposite side. Slowly lift the elbow and then extend the hand out. Coming back down. So just nice, gentle, slow twists. Still working on those legs. Pressing down into the floor. Thighs lifting. They'll start to feel a little bit burny by now. But quite a bit of work. Now this time as you bring the hands down to the floor, we're going to zigzag the toes in. So we come into a familiar forward fold. Allow ourselves to bring the hands onto the hips and then lift up gently. Shake it all out. Now we're going to see if we can take a tree pose. So I'm just going to make sure that I'm not too close to the blocks and props in case I need to step out. Walls are there, hopefully, somewhere in the house. You can use those as well if you need. So just bring the feet together, a little gap for the heels. Bring the hands into the heart and find your drishti point. Shift the weight into your left leg. Draw the right knee forwards and up. Take it out to the side slowly. Take a little breath as you bring your right hand down to find your right ankle. And see if you can hook your heel into the top of the groin. And press the foot in gently to the thigh. If you wish to take the hands higher, you can do. And then bring the hands down. And we'll bring the feet back to the floor. So shake out the legs a little bit. Shake out the arms. Reset. Bring the feet together. Remember, those toes touch, a little gap for the heels. So the feet are actually pointing forwards rather than sliding, spinning out. Hands into the heart. We load into the right. Slowly lift the left knee. Take it out to the side. Lift the knee a little higher. Find the heel to the very top of the groin. Toes away from knees. Again, the hands can come high if you wish. And then we'll bring the hands back down again. And then we'll release. Shake it all out. So we'll come back to the front of the mat. Feet are hip distance apart. Flat the hands to the sky. Down to the floor. And we're going to change a little bit. So we're going to come into a plank, knees to the floor, and we'll come down onto the ground. Now lengthen the legs back gently. Belly to the floor. And we're going to bring the hands underneath the shoulders and take the feet out a little wider than the hips. Boot laces down, heels out a little bit if you can. On the inhale, we'll take a low cobra and exhale it down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. There's two more. Last one. And we'll change that into gecko. So we'll take the hands out wide onto the fingertips, elbows high. This is reverse on the breath. So it's an exhale. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and then lift up. Bend out through the body and the legs. Press the thighs into the floor. Inhale on the way down. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And ease back down. And then take the hands towards the bottom of the ribs. Peel away from the floor. Slide the knees forwards. So sitting onto the heels, you're taking the feet out to the side. All of this. So the feet are pointing to the front of the mat. And take a little breath from here and slide ourselves down onto the floor. Bring the feet in a little bit closer towards the bottom. Now, you're going to slowly lengthen out the spine, get it nice and long, and you draw the belly down into the floor a little bit. So you get as much as your back connected to the ground as you can. And then you'll lift one knee at a time in towards the body so that the rest of the spine gets into the floor. Keep the belly drawn into the spine nice and tight as you extend the legs up towards the sky and the hands. So we're going to alternate the arms and the legs. So we're going to keep the legs nice and straight and strong and draw that belly in. And then we'll take the right arm and the left leg close down towards the floor as we exhale. They don't quite touch. And we inhale back up. Cross over to the other side. And ease our way back up. Just alternating gently. Try and keep the legs straight. Avoid that sort of desperate pull. Try and work smoothly through the breath. Almost there. Last side. Ease it up. Knees in towards the chest. Cross the ankles over and we'll take a little hug here. So we draw the chin in towards the chest first and then wrap the arms around the shins. So get a nice round spine. Have a little rock on the spine if that feels comfy from side to side. Now we're going to release our body back to the floor, but extend the legs up towards the sky again. And as we do, we kind of wriggle out the hips a little from side to side so that we can really bring the arms in close towards the body. So my hands are not quite underneath my buttocks, but they're not far away. Make sure I've got a nice long neck. Lengthen out the legs, and as you exhale, just let the legs come about halfway down towards the floor. So as soon as your toes disappear out of your peripheral vision, you want to start lifting them slowly back up as you exhale. So inhale on the way out. And exhale on the way back. Now, it doesn't have to be a big movement, but we are trying to make it smooth and slow. And those legs are lengthening out the whole time. And we've got one more. The knees come back in. Cross those ankles the other way. Chin in towards the chest. Take it into a little wrap. We'll slowly bring the feet down to the floor. Take the arms out wide. Take a little breath. Let the legs roll over towards the right. So a nice spinal twist. And see if you can really let your hips, lower back, and your legs relax, especially those hip flexors. I've done a lot of work this morning, a lot of lifting. And then we'll lift the legs gently back up. And when you're ready, you'll cross over to the other side. Okay, we'll come back into the center. And we'll come into one of our favorites called half bow. So we'll take the hands gently around the back of the head, elbows out wide. Going to slowly draw the belly in towards the spine. Get the lower back into the ground. So there's a little bit of a pelvis tuck. Take a little breath from here. Bring the chin in towards the chest. And as you exhale, draw your chest towards your thighs. And slowly take the hands forwards. Come up onto the tiptoes as you squeeze your thighs together and lengthen the legs up towards the sky. And keeping the legs straight, you slowly extend them out until your toes are about the height of your eyes. And we count for 1, 2, 3, 4. Get shaky. 5. We slowly lift back up again. Take the hands behind the back of the head. Soften the heels in towards the buttocks. And then lay the head down to the floor. We take the arms out wide again. Take a little rest. Let those legs roll over to the right. Head to the left. And bring the knees back again to the center. And then we slowly roll over to the left side. We'll bring that right hand onto the chest and just slide that across the front. Turn into the left. Use the hands to press into the floor and ease ourselves up slowly. We're going to come back onto that block. And if you know when you do Shavasana, your knees don't touch the floor when they're out to the side, you can bring the block in, the brick, and use that to pack under. Otherwise, you're going to bring the right heel into the grip, let the knee out to the side, square the hips, a little bend into the front leg, hands onto the shins. Going to slowly lengthen forwards and let the hands slide down the leg towards the foot. Just hold gently onto the side of the foot, keeping it a little flexed up towards the sky. And that leg to lengthen out by pressing out through the heel, drawing the belly in a little. Avoid dropping the head too much. Try and keep it in line with the spine. I know the spine is rounded, so it's a little tricky to work out where that actually is. It's generally lifted a little higher than you think. And then we'll release, let the hands come back to lift up, and we'll swap it out to the second side. Remember the little bend, adjust the foot up towards the sky first, get length in the body, slide forwards and out. And we'll release from there, come back up, take the legs back out. Now we're going to take the right leg underneath and out towards the left hip. Come into a seated twist. We'll bring that left foot across, and we'll take the open twist to the right. Just pressing the arm and the leg very gently together. And release. And take it over to the second side. Rotate out to the left. Try and keep both sitting bones even weight. So a little bit easier to kind of lean forwards into the open twist. Lots of eyelashes falling out today. And then we'll release from that side as well. Okay, we're going to come down into Shavasana. So slowly work your way down. Again, remember you can always lean out to the sides and roll down that way if it feels better. Again, take a little time to wriggle out through the hips and the shoulders. And then when you're ready, slowly lengthen the heel to each corner. Feet roll out, hands by the side of the body. And then just let yourself settle. You can let the tongue drop away from the roof of the mouth. Check the jaw is soft. And then we're just going to release in the stillness and listen to our own breath. slowly start to stretch those fingers and toes. Allow the breath to deepen as you start to stretch out the wrists and ankles. Take a nice big stretch. And then slide a heel at a time back in. Now we've tried to be very slow and strong through our class today. Kind of a metaphor for life. Slowing it down, listening, being strong. And then rolling gently over to the right side into a little ball. Taking a breath in. And as you exhale, use the hands to lift up. Just roll yourself gently to a seated position. Hands in towards the heart. Taking a deeper breath. And let the chin drop, eyes closed. Draw the belly to the spine and bow gently to the floor to seal your practice. Inhale, lift up. Let the head lift and the eyes open. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. Have a really lovely weekend ahead. See you soon.